Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today I want to answer the question, did the people of Israel in the Old Testament commit genocide when God commanded them to devote the Canaanite nations to destruction, which was the practice of harem, comes from that Hebrew word harem, meaning to devote to total destruction, was this genocide. And a lot of people think when they read the Old Testament that the God of the Old Testament was this God of wrath. He was an angry God, whereas the God of the New Testament is one of love and grace. But that's actually not true. It's the same God all the way. And in order to understand why the God of the Bible, the Lord, would ask his people, the Israelites, to take the land of Canaan and to conquer the Canaanites with this practice of harem, we have to look at the unique covenantal context that this takes place in. It happens in the Old Covenant, specifically the Mosaic Covenant, and God had promised his people that he would give them a land, the land of Canaan. And he didn't tell them to target these Canaanite peoples because of their race or their ethnicity, which would be a genocide when you're targeting people because of their tribe, their race, their ethnicity. No, that is not the reason. Rather, my professor, Dr. Stephen Coleman, says that this is not a genocide. This is actually a religiocide, meaning that God ordered these Canaanites to be conquered by his own people, the Israelites, because of their religion and specifically religious idolatry. You see, these are the effects of sin when we choose to worship idols above the true God. Eventually, there's going to be consequences because we have chosen a lie. We've chosen to worship the creation above the Creator. And so ultimately, this was a judgment on the Canaanites for their sin, and it was a just judgment and penalty. And it wasn't a double standard either. All along the way, when Israel falls into idolatry, God uses other nations to judge Israel and conquer them. They go into the Assyrian exile, the Babylonian exile. This is because of their sin. God says that they're whoring after other gods, not being pure to their and to their covenantal relationship with the Lord. So all this to say, the conquering of the Canaanite lands, that practice of harem, was not a genocide. It was a religiocide because of the sin of the nations. And ultimately, it's a part of the greater plan of the Bible: creation, fall, redemption in Christ, and second coming or consummation, where God, it's his big plan to make all things right once again in Christ for those who believe in him.